Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order as it stands right now. I know we have Dan. I'll call the roll. I guess that's the best to do.
For poor kids to escape our nation's worst and most dangerous schools.
You want me to?
If you don't mind, yes, please.
Yeah. Well, so at this point, what we have is the people that have been reappointed to this board are Shem Khalil,
I mean, to the parents.
Esther, and Keith.
And more importantly.
And then Tracy Tillman,
who
is, she isn't here. Maybe I should resend her a link.
And when.
She's kind of Leia's son, right?
She is. Right. So there's 3 out of 4 of you that are here. So we have a quorum. And
okay, very good.
Okay.
No, excellent. So I'm going to call this meeting to order. It's 6:05, I believe.
The mayor and I don't often.
And I'm going to go one over the election, the officer here. Before the election of the officer, I'm going to go for the approval of the minutes from March 2020. That was the last meeting that we had.
Those kids would be doing far better than doing that.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from
Motion to approve.
second.
I have a motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. So we're going to go to the election of the officers, even though that we are 4 or 5. And I don't know what's the pleasure of the board. Would you like to wait until the full board is actually intact and everybody's appointed or reappointed, or do you want to do it now and then wait for the other board members to come in and inform them that we elected the officers? So I'm gonna probably, it's up to you. I guess it's a point of discussion, whatever you feel.
It would probably be better to wait for a full board.
I think, have there been any more applications, do you know of?
I think
I'm
David,
not aware.
I think
not aware
David
of-
Augustus may have been apply. I think Dave has applied but not been reappointed.
There's several applications at the mayor's office, so I guess when he's back next week, maybe he'll decide at that point. But there's several applications there at the mayor's office.
And
Okay,
if you want to talk about yours or as well, Clarence, did you want to?
Yeah, mine is, I withdrew mine because we're asking that he appoints my new manager to be on the board, Jalen Bonet. He lives in the district, and so I figured it'd be good for him to represent the UEZ for the EDC. So his application is at the mayor's office. So, but there's also several other people who are looking to be reappointed. The applications are there. I'm aware of that because I've been talking to the mayor's admin. So.
Oh, very good, very good. So there is an application that you're aware of, Clarence, for this board, for this specific board, and there is multiple one that can fill all the board members' vacancies, I guess.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Well, maybe we should wait then until everybody's appointed, and then we can elect the officers of the board. I think that's probably just as a courtesy for the new board members.
As a courtesy for the new board members, plus we don't even have enough members now to fill all 4 positions. We don't have we have a president, vice president, secretary, and what was the other one? I forget. There's 4. Treasurer. So we don't even have enough to fill all 4 positions right now.
Right.
Okay. Well,
So should we just make a motion or whatever to keep the current positions until the entire board is filled?
That's fine. Maybe we can make a motion to actually, or at least table this item until the next meeting, until the board is fully appointed and fully occupied.
I think that would go without saying, you know, the last year's positions would be held until new positions were brought up.
I agree fully.
Okay.
So with that being said, hopefully the new board will come in, and please, at that, from now until the new board is appointed, and my understanding, Clarence, you think that the appointment will happen next week or by the end of next week?
I don't have a time frame. I know the mayor's been out sick, so he's supposed to be back next week. So hopefully that will happen probably in March, because he has to go before the council for the council to consent. So
Okay. Well, if that is the case, so maybe think about the officer nomination, if you don't mind, for president, for all the officers, the 4 officers for the board. And if you don't mind, send them to Diane so she can tally the nomination. But we will wait for the new board member to actually have more nomination if they would like to be part of the executive board.
Start sort of talking about.
So at this moment, the floor is open for nomination. I guess that's my point.
Okay.
But we're not doing any election until the new board members come in. But we are open for nomination at this point. Is that clear to everyone?
As much.
Because it just really
Thanks, Keith.
what her classroom looked like. It looks like no one ever consulted her.
So I'm going to go back to Diane. Diane, Director of Financial Reports.
Okay. So last year, I guess what I want to kind of lead with is that if you look at the minutes from March of 19, you will see that the balances were roughly $213,943. That was back in March. In February, and there were some expenses out of that. As you recall, in the beginning, we had our plan for last year was that we funded, we didn't fully fund, but we appropriated or encumbered $20,000 to the Leadership Academy that Clarence was running out of the EDCMC. And he'll speak to that in a minute. But we, so we gave like $12,800 for them. And that was going to happen. And then we're going to use all that information to sort of figure out what we wanted to do with the grants, et cetera. That didn't happen. It started out with a bang, but then COVID hit and they tried to do it online and it didn't work. And so then that's going to happen hopefully in October. But anyway, we'll get back to that in a minute. But so right now, we have our account balances are $320,000, $270.76. With 5,000 in receivables. If you go to the next page, as I had mailed out the financials, you'll see that our total billings, so during the year there were billings of $145,546, of which we've already collected 96.5%. And
From the White House was.
what I want to say is that, as you may recall, also for the past couple of years, I had been working with both Sanda Manufacturing and Solaire, and we were billing roughly $90,000 a year for probably the past 6 years. And then, of course, before that, it was less than that. And so this year we went up $55,000 that finally all of that kind of gelled and came together. And
Good job.
it's a win-win. The best thing to do for anybody is a win-win situation. They get the tax breaks and we get the money. So what we're doing right now is sitting with some cash that we can help hopefully the downtown, or not just the downtown, the entire zone with.
That's what they are, and we see it.
Good job, Dan.
Very good.
Thank you. So one thing I just have to say is that this board is completely fiscally responsible. And I know people need help now, but we didn't know what to do at that point.
The council seemed interested in that.
Yeah, more than once.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure where our council rep is because maybe I should have, anyway. So I also put together just a budget, an actual of 2020 and a budget of 2021. And you can take a look at that, but I'm recommending that we do 250 or so $1,000 in grants. I mean, that's all up to, the board, but I think the grant committee needs to get together and we need to do some retail rental grants right now, ASAP, to help out the city.
System is incredibly easy to use.
Thanks,
So-
Dan.
Yeah, okay.
Is that it for the financial? Do we have to have, the expenditure, I guess, that you see in the financial report? Let me, if you don't mind, Dan, could you read it out loud? Because it's not showing on the screen so people can actually see it or can hear it, I'm sorry.
What do you want me to read? The balances, the budget, the
expenses, I guess. The expense report.
for the year or?
No, for, let me see, the monthly expenses, I guess.
Unfortunately, I didn't put that together.
I have here one. Let me see. I have here the office expenses, rent, utility, insurance, postage, post office box rental, office supplies.
So that was for all of 2020.
Right.
Would you?
I think.
And that fell within our budget for 2020. I probably should have put the 2020 budget in there.
Okay. I guess my point, I just want to make sure that it's heard, I guess. So those expenses or office expenses is $6,057.92 for 2020. That's actual. I'm going to go for the second line here, personal expenses, which is program consulting for zone renewal, legal, bank fees, and travel. That came to about $18,208.
Correct.
29 cents. Keep in mind that that's the basically Diane expense or the executive director expense. So it's like the payroll, but it's not really the payroll. It's the expense for the contract executive director. Board and staff development, which is the planning and strategic plan. We spent $750. That's on 2020.
Those were
And
due
then-
to the AIEZ. That was the dues to the AIEZ.
Correct. Which is a membership for the organization, for the state organization.
Correct.
And for the business program, we have business grants that we created through 2020. And it was $12,455.69. and the neighborhood grant for the EDCMC.
Oh. No,
which-
that was for, actually, I got that in the wrong line. That's what that was for.
which is $8,000, is that correct?
Well, the 8,000 is a 21 budget. Keep
That's
reading the
correct.
2020. The 12,455 was to the EDCMC, Shem,
Okay,
too. And I'm wrong. Sorry.
yeah. But anyway, that totals to $37,471.90 for the year 2020, and those are our expenses. I just wanted to read the expense report, I guess, out loud, just to make sure that everybody that is listening right now can hear it, because we don't have it on the screen.
Will we be getting a hard
with that,
copy?
I
we
did
do you have it,
email.
Keith?
Pardon
You
me?
have it, Keith, in the email at the
Will
line.
we be getting hard copies?
Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely we can make hard copies. I mean, we can print them out. I can print them out for you if you need me to print them out.
Well, that way, like you say, we have not got it on screen right now, but at least that way we could follow along. And if we have any questions on the numbers, we can revert back to that.
We usually send them to the clerk treasurer office, and the clerk of the city will keep them on file and post them online, if I'm not mistaken, as part of the minutes and the financial report.
All right.
So they
I can
are
pick it up
online.
there. I can pick
Right.
it up there then. Okay.
Absolutely, yes. Is that correct, Diane? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, they get the minutes. They get the minutes generally and the agenda.
Okay.
I can get you
Well,
this, Keith. I mean, are you? Yeah, I mean, you
we
don't have
can
to
definitely
print
print them out or
You
leave.
can print them out.
I'm getting this on my tablet and I cannot print off my tablet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sure. So with that, do I have a motion to approve the expenses, I guess, for 2020, since we did not meet in 2020? So retroactive.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Any opposed? Motion carried. Dan, do you have anything else for the board at this moment?
Not on the, well, I do want to talk about some things that don't have to do with the financial report.
We can do it under probably public comments or
Okay.
toward the end if you don't mind.
Yep.
I just want to make sure to go through the agenda correctly, I guess.
Mhm.
So we have a review of the 2020 annual budget. I'm sorry, 2021 budget. If you don't mind, take a look at it, and maybe that's something for the new board members to probably take a look at as well. And maybe we can hold off until they get appointed, and we can discuss it with them, and they have a fair opportunity, I guess, to vote on it as well.
Agreed.
Very good.
Sounds good.
Thank you. For new business, the state legislative update. Diane?
Yeah, so there is two things. There is actually a House Bill 1025 that's been introduced to the Indiana State Legislature on February 2nd. And what that will do is extend the enterprise zones. I'll read you the actual bill. Enterprise zone renewals provides that an enterprise zone may be renewed for additional 5-year period if the fiscal body of the municipality in which the enterprise zone is located adopts a resolution to renew the enterprise zone. provides that a zone business located in the renewed enterprise zone may only access the property tax deduction incentive. So they're going to be removing certain other, they're going to be removing the interest expense incentives, but indefinitely extending the period of the zones, which is really great. So we are now extended until 2024, and then that was going to be our drop dead date. So now we can extend for another 5 year to be in 5 year increments indefinitely. Now that has gone through 3 readings, and as of, what's today? As of last Tuesday, the 9th, it was referred to the Senate for approval. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, the Indiana, the place where the AIEZ, which is our state economic organization, where we pay dues to, they used to take a 1% cut of all of our revenue.
Revenue. Yeah.
Right. Because they administered the program. But a couple of years ago, that changed. And they send it all back to us to administer the program. And then they actually cut it. It's kind of crazy. They send all our businesses send a 1% check to Indianapolis. And then at the end of the year, they Indianapolis now sends it to us. And this year it's like $3,700. So it's not small change. But the law hasn't been changed. So I'm talking with Barry our lawyer right now to put together a resolution for our city council. And so in order to legitimize that 1% that we're getting back, that needs to go through our city council.
Okay.
So that's the other thing. So there's a couple things outstanding.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Good job. Any questions, Diane? Hearing none.
Okay.
So, any old business that we need to talk about?
Can I just have Clarence maybe chime in about what's going on with the Leadership Academy?
Sure, please.
Good evening, board. Are you guys calling me old? What are you calling me? No. Good to see you guys. Hope everybody's staying safe and staying warm. As you know, last year, this board was very, I guess we're open to having us do something different. And we were very excited at the EDC to help work with you guys to do that. We had a full program planned for 9 months. In Michigan City to talk about leadership and neighborhoods. We had a contract with a group out of Indianapolis, some folks from out of South Bend, all coming once a week to Michigan City. And unfortunately, we had a first class of about 28 people. People are excited. People are getting to each other from probably a good cross-section of the enterprise zone and a couple from outside the zone. And lots of great energy. We learned about the history of Michigan City, history of some of the neighborhoods. People were drawing the neighborhoods. I mean, it was a good 2.5, 3 hours. People had dinner. It was a wonderful time. And that was February. And then, of course, we had COVID-19 and we couldn't meet. We were crossing our fingers like everybody else, thinking it would go away in 3 months. We kept people updated every month on different things with neighborhoods, and we still are doing that. We're trying to keep the class intact. Last summer, when the numbers kind of stabilized and we thought they were going to go down, we had 3 classes online. They weren't very well attended. Then we told people we'd come back and do something in fall. Of course, the numbers went up in fall. So we are still sending out emails to the class, just to let them know that we're still going to do this when the numbers get better and things are better. But instead of trying to keep a time like every quarter, like we're going to do it in winter or summer, we decided to just push it back all the way till this fall. Well, when we know most people will be vaccinated, we can probably be in a room with more than 50 people moving forward, and people won't be scared to come to a meeting. And so our goal is to probably start probably like October and get it done, the first class done. So I'd say we have at least 20 of the class members still interested, so which is good. But we're like everybody else are stuck with what's going on. But thank you for what you provided. The money has not been, not put to good use. We still have a contract with the entity in Indy to do this whenever they can come up here, because they were going to come in person. And so we're just waiting for the numbers from COVID to go down, and people are vaccinated and people feel safe to congregate. And so we just want to push it back till fall, because we know at that point for sure people probably won't mind to be in a room with other people. Oh, at least we're crossing our fingers and hoping for that. So, but thank you again for your generosity, and we'll keep you posted on what's happening with that. We'll probably come back to you in summer and let you know what's going on, because we'll have to go back and get people to confirm that they'll come back. And if there's additional space, we'll ask people who want to start to come and be new class members. So our goal is to get 30, 35 people in the class. So the ones who are in there right now have first refusal, but if they can't come back, we'll get more people to come back to come to class. So, questions?
Thanks a lot, Clarence. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. So anyone has any, now we're going to go to public comments, and back to you, Diane. I believe you had some items that you need to discuss, I guess.
Yeah. So, me personally, I actually have to resign from my duties as the director. I'm a CPA by trade. I've been helping to run a tax department at Rowley and Company, and we've just merged with an accounting firm in Indianapolis, and it's actually really exciting. We're going to be a team of over 200 people. We've got a huge reach of really technical ability, and we hope to grow the office and really be a booming asset for Michigan City. And I really want to put all my efforts into, just making that a great success, which I already know it's happening. So that happened as of January 1st.
Congratulations, Dan.
Thank you. I don't like leaving the board hanging, so I will hang in here. I mean, I'll provide, I'll provide what you need to provide, and I don't even mind. I mean, I can continue to do the tax work and the billing and stuff but we need to find someone particularly to
manage the grants.
Yeah, I mean, to manage the grant, I just don't have time to do that. So
understood.
So that's where we're.
Yeah, recommendations.
Excuse me?
Are there any recommendations? Do you know of anybody?
I do know of a girl that I would recommend. Her name is Abby May, and she was the president of the Main Street Association for the past couple of years, and she is quite fabulous. And as a matter of fact, I can't remember exactly where she works, but part of her job is writing grants and funding grants.
She works for Safe Harbor, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay. So you know Abby. Yeah, well, you're on the board, for heaven's sakes. That's right. Sorry, Esther. But I think that she would be a great addition. I did reach out and talk to her. But I also think that we probably ought to keep just pose it out to the community and see what the response is.
I was gonna say that we can definitely open it up. The board can hire, and it's a contract, so the board can hire whoever we please, and we can start the interview process, and maybe we can have a selection committee, and that selection committee can recommend 2 or 3, and those 3 can actually come to the board and meet with the board, and the board can interview them. At least that's the process that I'm accustomed to from previous board that I've been on throughout the years. That being said, Diane, I just want to say it's been an honor serving with you, and it's really a pleasure. You did a wonderful job to this board, and I can't thank you enough, and I'm sure the board feel the same way. So thank you so much.
I would second that.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. And echoing Diane, I guess, with her sentiment about the board, I just want to say that the next board meeting, we are electing officers for the board, I hope, presuming that the board will be fully appointed. At that time, it was my pleasure serving as your president for 12 years, or I'm sorry, for 8 years, on the board for 12 years. I think I would really appreciate it if the nomination can actually have somebody other than me as the president, I guess, of the board, because I truly enjoyed it. But I'm really sucked into my work right now. I will continue to be the board member. I'll continue to be an advisor to the board. I'll continue to do whatever the board needs me to do as a Michigan City resident, and I care deeply about this board. We did a wonderful job throughout the years. Since I started 12 years ago on this board till now, since I took presidency of this board, it was $20,000 in the bank, and here we are right now. We should congratulate ourselves all together that we have $350,000 after a hard work.
And we did a lot of good in those years. I mean, there were a lot of
Yes.
things that happened. It's not like we just sat on the money. Just
No.
this year.
In fact, we did
Yeah.
quite a bit of grants to low income in the zone itself. We enhanced the zone. The zone was our focus as per Indiana code. We tried to help the entire community as well. So it was definitely a community-minded board focused on the zone to enhance the zone, and therefore to enhance the entire community. So congratulations to all of you. So with that, I think next month we'll be very busy, but I'll continue, like I said,
I'll be right back.
continue until we actually, I'm sorry. Keith, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Keith?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we can all hear you. That's okay. That's okay. So I guess I'll continue as the chairman of the board until we do the selection process and do the election of the officers of the board. And I'll continue as a board member.
I do have a question I just thought of. Can I have permission to pay, we have certain utilities, rent, insurance, post office. Could we just continue? I'm not going to re-up my contract, but just those normal expenses? Can we?
I don't have a problem.
We'll need them paid until someone else takes over. We'd
Okay.
appreciate it if you could take care of that.
All right, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I just want approval to get,
I make
Let's have a motion. I was gonna say, let's have a motion to make sure that it's on the record.
okay.
I make that motion.
Second.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Esther. I have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Well, thanks, Dan.
Yep, you're welcome.
And Shem, to your statement, you and I have sat on this board for 12 years, right?
Right.
We did a lot of good back then, and we've come a long way since. And we appreciate you being our president,
Thank you.
and we will give your wishes a little consideration. Can't guarantee
No,
it,
please.
bro. Can't guarantee it.
Please give it a lot of consideration, and I appreciate that so much, Keith. And it's a pleasure serving. Seriously, it's with all of you. It's really such an awesome board, and we did wonderful things for the city, and we will continue to do so. I mean, we have the will now. At least we have a lot of funds right now that we can definitely do help. Specifically in the zone, and I'm really interested maybe next month to explore some ideas, and that's one of the things that I was going to talk to you about, to all of you, to think about something related to COVID that it's missing from the federal government and missing from the state. The state is helping a lot, the federal is helping a lot, which is wonderful. But there is some stuff that it's missing from them, and hopefully we can be filling this gap in the city, in our community. So, and I think we have that funds to actually do it in our zone, and maybe we can extend it to the neighboring zones that is adjoining to our zone to help our zone as well. So think about it that we can help, because I think people need help right now.
Yes, we're in a position to do some significant good for the community or for the zone.
And especially, especially for the items that the federal and the state are missing.
Right.
For example, now I was talking, for example, and I'm just, thinking loud, I guess, the rentals, they don't have a system, but they have a moratorium on eviction. So that moratorium, when it ends, that means that the eviction will happen. I don't think they can pay back close to $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever the rent might be. That's a significant amount, even though that there's a moratorium of eviction from the feds. I'm not quite sure after it ends what's going to happen. They are not giving the assistance; they are just stopping. They're putting a Band-Aid a little bit until it expires. But then what?
Right. And I've been calling local business to see what do they feel their greatest need will be, and compiling a list of that. And maybe we can work off of that to see where we, if there's especially if the same theme keeps coming up, maybe that's an area that we can touch on.
That sounds good. And like I said, those are ideas. Let's think about even more how we can help more.
As far as the rent goes, the government's looking at a $1.9 trillion COVID assistance program right now. They still have billions of dollars that they haven't used yet. So I don't know if we need to contact a senator, a congressman, whatever, but they need to do something with all that.
I know, but we also have an opportunity to focus on the really small business that might get ignored with that, or
one of the major things that I found, from small business, that they are not eligible or they cannot apply because they don't have their books, for example, straight, or as a big corporation. For example, they don't have the number of employees required to actually receive that type of assistance, or they don't have a corporation in general. They might be a sole proprietor. They might be just under their social security number, not as a tax ID number. They might be registered as a name, not a business. and they're renting and they're doing business as such. So my point, I guess, that there is a lot of people are struggling from that perspective. I guess that that government is looking at business as a business entity that is thriving throughout even COVID, and they want to make sure that's sustainable, which is great. That's wonderful, and I think it's warranted. I'm just saying that there is a lot of other businesses that they need help that they are not eligible for, or they don't know how to apply even.
Right.
So those are the type of businesses that we probably should focus on, because those are the backbone of our community and they are our neighbors, you know.
The other thing is looking into the community garden as well. I know we've helped them in the past, and we should probably, hope to see that they continue to reach out.
Absolutely. And even to the extent of food banks, you know, my understanding right now, food banks are getting dry in a way. And
well, maybe we can interface with the farmers market and get more of the local business involved in the farmers market and with the garden, and maybe they can all commingle.
I like that a lot as well. I guess my point, let's think about multiple things that we can assist the smaller one more than just any business, but the really small one that don't have the will, I guess, to apply for the available grants right now that it's pouring into, which is good. It's really good that it's helping, but definitely the smaller one needs help. All right.
Sounds good.
And anything else for the good of the order?
We have some lessons learned from the Cities Grant Program we're willing to share with you. So,
any public comments?
Well, Shem, I just want to say that you've all been a pleasure to work with, and I'm sad to hear that you want to step down as president as well.
Well, I'm sure I'll assist and support the new president, and I'll cheer him, and I'll make sure this board is always successful and
right.
having the same thing, same path.
Right. One of the things that I think I want the community to know is that this entire board is based on a body of law, Indiana law, and Shem knows the law. And that is a very hard piece. This is probably the most difficult piece to replace. We're not replacing you, hopefully, but because you can't do things that aren't meant to be done under this urban enterprise zone law. So you need somebody on this board that understands. Understands the concept and understands how to read the law. So I appreciate that.
Thank you, Diane. And it will be my pleasure to support the new president and help with whatever they need, whatever the board needs. All right. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. And it's been a pleasure. And I'm sure we will be talking hopefully by March. If not before that, via email.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Adjourn.
Oh,
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor? Yes.
Aye.
All in favor? Aye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.